George Kambossos can't be serious about a rematch.
Crazy.
Hi, welcome to our channel. I'm Jay.
And I'm D.
And this is Our Two Cents, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In this video, we will be discussing and recapping last night's undisputed fight in the 135 lightweight division. George Kambossos Jr. and Devin "The Dream" Haney. What did you think about that fight?
And the new.
Congratulations, Devin.
Congratulations, Devin. So I thought that he definitely got Kambossos. Kambossos definitely got his ass beat up the entire fight.
1 through 12.
He didn't win not one round. I only gave him the 6th round because out of all the rounds, that's the one round he actually did something and put some effort in.
He picked up a little bit.
If you've seen those first 3 rounds, you didn't know where the hell Kambossos was because he did not look like himself or any fighter. He ain't look nothing like himself in no kind of way. He actually looked like he came out there trying to throw big bombs. He looked like he was out there with the game plan that Teofimo had with him. And I don't know why he would, because that didn't work out. I mean, he looked like he was waiting to catch Devin Haney the whole time. He looked like he was waiting to catch Devin Haney the whole time with a big shot. And one, he wasn't fast enough, and he couldn't get out of the way of that jab to set it up. So, I don't know, man. What you think, baby?
Well, I mean, to drop my 2 cents, I think he didn't have an answer for the jab. He got hit 85 times with the jab, which is a lot if you average that out per round. And these were power jabs, too. They weren't just, let me see where you at jabs. They was snapping his head back. He didn't get his head off the line. He didn't see any parrying. He didn't have any answer for that jab for 12 rounds. He didn't let his hands go. He wasn't as aggressive. Haney did not let him fight on the inside. As soon as he stepped in, Haney wrapped him up. I think they weren't complaining about that, but they were saying the ref. But I mean, he got outboxed. He got out strategized. Kambossos and his corner got beat. All 12 rounds, it was one-sided the whole fight. I wish Haney would have got the knockout. That way, this rematch nonsense is. I don't understand why they want a rematch.
Yeah, the rematch is kind of ridiculous. Most times when you would think that it's gonna be, and I'm not talking about the business of boxing, but if I'm looking out for my fighter, and we are trying to make some money, right? Then if we're gonna do a rematch, then there's a few things that had to happen. One, it was a competitive fight. Okay, so that's out the window. 2, both or one of the fighters had to go through their different game plans. So I have a game plan 1, a game plan A, and that didn't work out. Go to game plan B. Whatever Kambossos' game plan was, Haney went through all of his game plans, A, B, C, D, all the way to Z.
I don't think he exhibited a game.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever his game plan was, it was not working, and there was no adjustment to that, right? By Kambossos or his training team. No adjustments at all. The whole 12 rounds. There was nothing different about what was happening. With Devin Haney, he didn't need to make any adjustments. He went out with game plan A, which was throw the jab and see if he can get around it, right? See if he can close the distance. See if he got some footwork to be able to close the distance and actually land some of his shots. From Devin Haney's point of view, it's like, yo, you can't get past my jab. I don't need to go to plan B, C, or D. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just jab you all night and keep the space, keep you turning, right? And it wasn't like he was running on his bicycle the whole time because he was within punching distance the entire night. It wasn't like he was completely on the outside. I say it was a mid-range fight. And so he didn't get to make him change anything, make any adjustments. I don't see why. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't see who's gonna watch the rematch. Raise your hand, drop your 2 cents below in the comments, and let me know if you will watch a Devin Haney Kambossos rematch.
Right.
Let me know if you will watch that fight.
They sold out. Let
me know if you will buy that fight.
They sold out the arena, or maybe they didn't. But
It definitely
after a
looks sold
fight
out.
like that, where it's not competitive
At all.
how are you going to sell this fight?
See,
the controversy out the window.
and that's gonna be the
The
problem.
overseas travel
Out the window.
out the window. You know what I'm saying? It's done. Like
It just probably doesn't even make
it
business
doesn't
sense
make
to
a
have
good
a
business
rematch.
sense to make it have a rematch.
It
Top
just was-
ranking. What the guy named Lou? Yeah.
Lou DiBella.
Yeah,
That's
y'all
Showtime.
go ahead. I don't know what his name is, but you, Devin Haney, and the Dream Team, y'all go ahead and move on somewhere else. Please don't put Devin Haney back in another fight with that guy. There's no point.
I mean,
no
we
point.
don't want to see it anymore.
Nobody
He-
wants
it's
to see
just-
that.
Unless
I mean,
his game,
he didn't
unless
wanna
he
see it.
just, I don't know, he messed up. He planned on losing to try to
Kambossos-
get a second fight to make some money. I don't know what Kambossos' game plan was,
Yeah.
but he should have went for broke in that fight.
Yeah.
Because he was the underdog. I mean, he really didn't have much to lose because you lost all 12 rounds. So it's like you didn't even defend your belt. You should have just
never
let your
defended
hands
your-
go.
yeah.
You should have came forward. You should have blocked. You should have got out the way of the jab. I don't know. Maybe it just was too much for him when he got in there. Maybe it was the moment. Maybe it was the weight. He was 134.49 pounds or something like that
He had a
overweight.
pound or something over.
So I don't know if that, trying to drain that weight really had
A major effect.
a major effect on him. But he didn't look like the George Kambossos that we were expected to see in the fight. And that's just my 2 cents.
I've seen him fight, and I thought that he's a better fighter than what he showed. And he may be. I mean, I've seen Shakur Stevenson plenty of times go in there with somebody I've seen look good, and then they look like a beginner when they're in there with him. And that's kind of how this fight looked. It looked like Kambossos didn't know what to do, how to do, when to do, whatever he needed to do. And his training camp didn't know what to do or to tell him how to get it better either. He really got dominated, and he really didn't want to see the fight because he was getting jabbed so hard. He was looking up at the big screen the whole night.
When they was getting
That boy, you can see his Adam's apple all night. He's getting smacked. But
I mean, he talked so much trash leading up to this fight. All the tough guy with the Australian accent talk, the tattoos.
It was pretty good. And he did a good salesman job though.
I mean, he sold the fight. I guess he did what he had to do. The place was sold out. I'm not sure what the pay-per-view numbers were, but Devin Haney's undisputed now. So I guess, like he said, is he the top guy at 135? Is Devin Haney now, with all the belts,
the top guy?
The top guy. I mean, I said he was an email champion. All of these things.
He's still an email champion.
Listen, he's none of that. He's undisputed at 135 in the 4-belt era. What's next for Devin Haney?
Shoot, I don't know, man.
What do you guys think should be next for Devin Haney? We're going to do a video about that, but drop your 2 cents below and let us know what you think.
They did say that WBA wants to make it mandatory that him and Tank fight.
I don't think him and... Listen, that's another video. That's another video. We're definitely going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to talk about that.
Tank's a beast.
But George Kambossos no to the rematch. Nobody wants to see it.
Yeah, nobody.
Just like Rolly said, everybody was gonna be sleep outside the ring. Nobody was gonna be sleep inside the ring. Shout out to Rolly.
Shout out Rolly.
I mean, it wasn't a boring fight. It just was a disappointing fight because we thought that it would be more competitive. Kind of how I feel the Earl Spence Terrence Crawford fight is gonna play out.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be as competitive as we think. But again, that's another video. Because that could just lead us into a whole bunch of things.
A whole bunch of different things.
But I'm glad Devin Haney overcame the things with his dad not being able to come down.
Yeah,
I mean,
big,
he
man.
faced a lot of controversy at this fight. He didn't even have a cut man.
He didn't have.
He didn't even have a cut man.
And they did have a headbutt.
They did have
So
a
that could have
headbutt.
been major. That could have been a major.
It could have been major if
flaw.
Kambossos let his hands go.
Yeah. Okay. He could have opened that cut up if he actually threw some punches.
I mean, do you think Kambossos was scared? You think he was nervous? People say Haney got the pillow fist. Was he concerned about his power? Like,
Hey.
what do you think it was?
I don't know, but that is a good question, and I would like to know what you guys think. What do you think kept Kambossos from throwing his hands, and we had on the live the other day when the fight was going on. Shout out to Glenn. He said that Kambossos throwing the fight. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's throwing
Some people might say Kambossos threw that fight.
I don't understand why you wasn't throwing no punches, bro. Like, you was right there. You was within. You know what I'm saying? You within hit me range, and you wouldn't throw no punches. I don't get it. I don't understand. You know, you're a professional. You can't be in there scared. I don't believe boxers actually get scared, especially when you're in the midst of the fight. I don't believe that. So
I don't know. It's weird though.
It was weird.
I watched Kambossos fight other fights, and I've never seen him not let his hands go like that.
I mean, he got backed up. He didn't figure out how to get through the jab. He didn't keep his head off the line. He didn't parry when the punches was coming to stop it so he can close the
not
distance.
get very good defense at all.
He stayed flat-footed. He couldn't keep up. He was staying off balance.
It sounds like he was weight drained. Like that I'm trying to take, because he was so
even
slow.
if he was weight drained, because I think Teofimo was weight drained, right? And
Teofimo was
tripping. He was probably taking. But this is the thing. Even when you weight drain, them first 4 rounds, you got enough. In them first 3 rounds, Devin Haney was just punching on the punching bag.
Yeah, the first 5.
He was just punching on the punching bag. He was just there holding his glove up with his nose. That's why his nose is so red. He looked like Rudolph.
His face was pretty brutal.
He was getting smacked around. But yeah, man. And just like Devin Haney also said, he said, I'm going to take away his weapon. So no right hands from Kambossos. No right hands. No overhand rights. No combos.
He threw him.
He kept him from throwing combos. Devin Haney kept Kambossos from throwing combos. And he kept him from throwing that overhand right later in the fight. In the beginning, he did try to throw it a couple times.
He was missing.
But he was missing. He was way off, man. He was way off. Kept getting backed up.
Devin shut the crowd down.
Yeah.
It was quiet.
Yeah,
it was like a panic and worry over the crowd.
He took his strengths away and backed him up into his weakness. Because I don't think Kambossos ever should have been fighting backwards, and he never should have stayed in the middle of the ring. Not against Haney. Not against a fighter like Haney. So that's just my 2 cents. Please let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think about the Devin Haney Kambossos fight, about a rematch. What should Haney do next? By dropping your 2 cents below in the comments. Be sure to help support the channel by punching that like and subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at 2 Cents Boxing. I'm Jay.
And I'm D.
And stay tuned for our 2 cents in the next video.
Peace.